1968 in Washington. And then Prabhupada is going to tell us about different types of love we have in this material world and what is absolute love. So before we move forward, actually I was trying to see what is absolute love according to the trend with people. So they have defined love, true love, absolute love, like this. So we'll get a complete understanding of what is actually absolute love in this lecture of Prabhupada as we move forward. So all these teachings and discussions we are having is by special mercy, compassion of Prabhupada, for the inspiration for these sessions. He is the founder Acharya of Worldwide Hare Krishna Movement, ISKCON, who has so wonderfully given us these teachings in a recorded form for our utility even now, right? We can get the full benefit of the same message, the same impact, even we follow whatever Prabhupada is telling us to do. So Prabhupada's lecture is about just it's a preamble, just to give set a background for what. Everyone is frustrated. Husbands, wives, boys, girls. Everywhere there is frustration because our loving propensity is not being utilized properly. In this lecture given in Seattle, Washington in October of 1968, Srila Prabhupada reveals how we can achieve complete satisfaction by directing our love toward the Supreme Person. Right? This is the topic. Basically, right now, as a living entity, spirit soul, we have a loving propensity. But that loving propensity means to love someone. This attitude is there. This nature is there. This faculty is there. But it is being misused or misdirected, because of which we are ending up in frustration, disappointment. And the actual loving object actually is Krishna. We have to divert, or rather, we have to pour all our love, everything to Krishna. Then only our loving propensity will be fully satisfied. So we'll see more of these teachings as we move forward. So Prabhupada begins with a prayer to the spiritual master, wherein he's telling that how right now in the material world we are all born into the darkness of ignorance. The prayer, Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who has opened my eyes, which were blinded with the darkness of ignorance, with the torchlight of knowledge. The prayer we offer to the spiritual master, wherein we are offering our respects to the spiritual master because he has opened our eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. Right now, we're in dense darkness. How it is so, why it is so, Prabhupada explains. Everyone in this material world is born into darkness or ignorance. Somebody may argue, oh, you're having enough sunlight now in daytime. So this is one type of maybe you're having some light around you. But internally, with regard to your spiritual awakening, it is dark for you. You're totally spiritually blind, right? Completely, we are oblivious to our spiritual existence. That's what Prabhupada wants to say. So we are all born in the dense darkness of ignorance. Everyone in this material world is born into ignorance or darkness. Actually, the nature of this material world is that it is dark, called Tamo Jagat, means world of darkness. And we require sunlight, moonlight, fire, electricity. Why? Because it is dark. Right? It is a scientific fact. Without imagine if sun is not rising that day, the whole nothing will happen. No work can happen because of sun rising every day. So many things are happening in our life. We all get up, we all do our activities, industries run, or different activities which we do, all because of sun rising. Right? So much we should be obliged to sun. Uh, so everyone born in this material world, from Brahma, the chief personality in the topmost planet of this universe, down to the ant, is born to the darkness of ignorance. Now, this material world is called the world of ignorance, world of darkness. And we are also born here because we have forgotten Krishna. We have misidentified ourselves as this body. It's like a prison house. Prison house is not well lit. Prison cell is not well lit. In fact, I was recently seeing a documentary wherein there is a prison in South American one country. The criminals who are done a lot of notorious activity, they are put in a cell where there is hardly any light, right? And it is a dark cell because they say if the criminal who has done such notorious activities is put into that situation, at least he start reflecting. Self-reflection happens within himself that I did such a abominable action, that how much I have created suffering and pain to people during my when I was outside freely moving around. He starts getting some level of realization. That's what they say. So this material world is like that. It is actually, it is lit up with sun in the daytime, light, we have moon, but otherwise it is dark. Dark externally, and even we are covered with dense ignorance within our hearts. Now, the Vedic injunction is Tamasima Jyotirgamaha. You would have heard this famous statement. Don't remain in darkness, come to the light. From tamas, you come to Jyoti. And for this, a spiritual master is needed. Right? So, to come out from this darkness, there is no direction. If somebody brings a torch or some source of light in front of us, at least we can see things, what is around me. The spiritual master is that personality who brings that torch of knowledge in front of us and gives us direction. This is how life should be conducted. Otherwise, in darkness, you don't know where to go, what to do, which direction to move. You're in total confusion, perplexity. It is the duty of the spiritual master to open the eyes of the person in darkness with the torchlight of knowledge. This is the important function of the spiritual master, that he opens our eyes. Our eyes have the ability to see, but right now, because of darkness, we're not able to see. So spiritual master will awaken our spiritual understanding, and also he will give us the direction, which way to move. Divya Jnana Hriday Prakashito, it is said. It is called that the spiritual knowledge is awakened and revealed to us. It is called as opening the eyes. And one should offer one's respectful obeisances unto such a spiritual master. It is what this prayer meant. So, next Prabhupada explains how to come out of this darkness. We just now understood. You have to follow the direction of spiritual master, but more elaborately, Prabhupada is going to explain now. People should not be kept in darkness. They should be brought into the light. Right now, the situation in the material world is that people are in darkness and they are kept in perpetual darkness. They are not given awareness. It's like, as per the Bhagavad Gita, Kshatriya, this word Kshatriya means Kshapati Trayate. Kshat means any hurt, any trouble, any pain. So Kshatriya means one who relieves the subordinates or the citizens from pain, painful situation, trouble situation. There are two types of troubles. The material trouble of because we have got a body, We have a requirement of our necessities of body, roti, kapda, makan, right? Then there is a spiritual need. When the spiritual necessity is not fulfilled, even then, otherwise also spiritual need is not fulfilled, then also we will feel pain. The spiritual necessity, when it is not fulfilled, you will feel pain of frustration, disappointment, and bewilderment, depression. All this is the experience of lack of spiritual needs or spiritual necessities being provided. So, a king or a ruler or a politician has twofold responsibilities. One is to take care of the physical welfare, material welfare of the citizens, and also spiritual welfare. Right? But right now, the government thinks, or rather their understanding is limited to only physical welfare. People have to be provided with necessities of life with regard to food, shelter, water, electricity. Spiritual need, nobody doesn't even know, right? They don't even understand. They're so totally ignorant about the spiritual need of the spirit. So, because of which all of us are, even though the developed countries, right, developed countries are having all these aspects in ample quantity, they are not happy because spiritual need is not satisfied. Right? So, Prabhupada says the responsibility of the leaders or in a family, the parents are supposed to be leaders. In a school, teachers are supposed to be leaders. Like this, at different stages or different levels in society, there are different natural leaders. Their responsibility is not to keep their subordinates in darkness. That's what it means. People should not be kept in darkness. They should be brought into the light. Light means bring them to the platform of real understanding, real knowledge, awareness. Therefore, in every human society, there is a religious institution of some sort. Right? What is religious institution? What is the purpose of Hinduism, Mohammedanism, Christianity or Buddhism? The purpose is to bring people to the light. That is the purpose of religion. Right? Religion is not simply that you go and try to fulfill your material needs or you want to pray to continue in your darkness. No, it is meant to give you light, give you direction in your life moving forward in the spiritual journey. And what is that light? That light, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada is slowly bringing up the point that how the spiritual institutions or the religious institutions, which is having gurus, is supposed to give this light to everybody, light of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Srimad Bhagavatam states, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. The codes of religion are directly given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The definition of religion. What is dharma? Dharma means the codes or the laws given by the Supreme Lord Himself. Excuse me. It's like in the state, there are laws that you must follow. The head of the state gives some laws, and if you are a good citizen, you obey those laws and live peacefully. Not only with the state, even in any company, organization, or a business firm, there is a head. Head will have some rules being made. This is how we are supposed to conduct ourselves or will function this way. And all the subordinates have to abide by that. Then things will be very happy and congenial, harmonious. Otherwise, everybody starts rebelling and no, I don't want to follow. And there'll be so much of chaos. These laws may be different according to time, circumstances, or people. Right? Based on the different situations, different type of place, different circumstance, different things, different situations are possible. The state laws of India may not agree 100% with the laws of the United States. Right? Even in our experience, some laws which are followed in one state is not being followed in some other state. Whatever appropriate to that state, the state government is deciding what to do. Right? But in every state, there are laws that you must obey. The principle here is when you want to govern a big society of so many people, there are some laws or rules, regulations required. Otherwise, it will be total confusion for everybody. And as a good citizen, we are supposed to abide by the law. What is the law? You have to understand. Otherwise, one is considered the lowest in society, a criminal, and is subject to punishment. That is a general principle. Right? Everybody understands this, right? It's like maybe in our country, we have some traffic rules. Keep to the right. Whereas, in Western countries, it is keep to the left. Like this, different types of traffic rules. When you go to a different country, you have to accordingly abide by that rule. Not that you say, oh, in my country, I keep to the right. No. What is there, the law, you please follow. That's the point. So, the laws are meant to facilitate a very cooperative and harmonious way of life, a very peaceful life for everybody. Now, if you don't follow the law, then it is going to create disturbance. It's a nice statement in the Vedic literature. It is said, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatriki Vidhim Vina Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpataiva Kalpate. One of our Acharyas, Rupa Goswami, says, Shruti Smriti Purana Adi. All the Vedic literatures are called Shruti. Then Smritis, there are Upanishads, other type of other corollary Vedic literatures. Shruti Smriti Purana. There are 18 Puranas. And Pancharatrika Vidhis. Narada Muni has given Pancharatra Vidhis. So our life should be conducted as per these Vedic scriptures. They are called Shastras. Shruti Smriti Purana Adi Pancharatrika Vidhim Vina means without following the Vidhi or the rules, regulations of these scriptures, if you conduct yourself, then you are going to only cause disturbance in society. That's what is happening right now. Nobody is following the scriptures, scriptural rules, regulations. Everybody wants to do everything on their own, or they have manufactured a system which is causing again and again problems. Just like the problem of pollution, what you're seeing. Right? Global warming. Yamuna is so polluted, they say. They want to clean now. Why it happened? Because they're not following the scriptural rules. How sacred is Yamuna? How to keep the Yamuna properly? They are leaving all the sewerage water into that Yamuna. What will happen? So like this, in every aspect of our life, society is not following the scriptural rules. They are trying to follow some man-made rules. Every time they are failing. So sooner we align ourselves with the scriptural rules, better it will be. It will all give a very harmonious and very happy, healthy life, peaceful life for everybody. So if you don't do this, then what Prabhupada says, you are considered to be criminal from Krishna's perspective. You are subject to punishment. So as a punishment we are seeing, we are not having clean water, clean air, clean food. Everything is polluted. Everything is contaminated. Right? So likewise, when you violate the laws, punishment is there. Laws of karma are so stringent. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, his material nature is very strictly seeing and enforcing the laws of karma. And you're going to be punished sooner or later. So this is what distinguishes or discriminates a human from an animal. Similarly, religion means to obey the law of God. That's all. Right? What is religion? Religion means the orders given by God. Simply you have to follow that laws. It's like state government gives the laws. So as a law-abiding citizen, you have to follow the laws given by the state. That's all. And if a human being does not obey the laws of God, he is no better than an animal. Because animals don't have any laws to be followed. We would have seen, it's like sometime in the streets, there's some cow or some dogs going here and there. Even though the traffic signal is there, all the vehicles are standing, red light. But some animal will be simply crossing. Nobody will penalize them, right? Because they don't follow. They are not bound by any laws to be followed like that. Animals don't have laws. Likewise, even animals, there's no binding for them to follow religion also. That's how their life is. So Prabhupada says very nicely. If the human beings don't follow the laws, then they're like animals. Human beings are supposed to have a developed intelligence. Hmm. All scriptures, all religious principles are meant to elevate man from the animal platform to the human platform. Right? If humans don't follow religious principles, they're called animals. Religion is meant to elevate the human psychology, human thinking now, which is like an animal. Animal means what? Simply eating, sleeping, mating, defending. From the platform, elevate them to the human platform of, oh, I am not simply this body, I'm spirit, soul. I'm supposed to be understanding about subject matters on spiritual knowledge. But I'm going to die one day. I have to prepare to not going on coming in this material world repeatedly like this. These are called spiritual inquiries. Uh, Therefore, a person without religious principles, without God consciousness, is no better than an animal. This is the present day situation. Present day society is called polished animal society, wherein everybody is simply busy in only animal propensities of simply nicely eat, nicely sleep, indulge in sense gratification, and try to protect yourself. That's all. This is the verdict of the Vedic literature. Ahara nidra bhaya maithunam cha samanyametat pashubhir narana dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubhi samana. It's a very important statement. Prabhupada, always keeps quoting this. Eating, sleeping, sex, and defense. These four principles are common to both human beings and animals. The distinction between human life and animal life is that as a man, he can search after God, but an animal cannot. Dharmo hi tesham. Dharma means the laws given by God. The human being can understand this, right? And in fact, he can start following this. Hmm. That's the difference. This is the difference between animal and man. Therefore, a man without that urge for searching after God is no better than an animal. If this urge to understand about God, understand about our real situation, the problems, how to solve the problems of life, of birth, death, old age, disease, these questions that don't come up, then the scriptures say you are pashubi samana, you're as good as an animal. Animals don't inquire into these real problems of life. They're only busy if I get nicely to eat, if I get something to sleep, like this, they're busy in that. Prabhupada gives a nice example. A goat, there's so many goats which are supposed to be slaughtered, about to be slaughtered. In front of that one goat which is munching green grass, one more his fellow goat is being butchered. Right? Even then, this goat is very happily munching the green grass, thinking as though nothing is going to happen to me. Whereas a human being is similarly placed in a situation wherein one after other, one person is pulled and he's butchered. Other people are in a state of fear, anxiety. They want to somehow see how to escape from the situation. You see, the level of the maturity and understanding which a human being has, this much understanding and developed intelligence, animal doesn't have. They can't understand how to solve the problems of life. That's the point. So basically, when scriptures are telling, if you are simply busy in your own life of trying to satisfy the necessities of life of eating, sleeping, mating, defending, and don't worry about the spiritual needs of your body and spiritual aspects of your body, then you are no better than animal. That's what it means to say. Yes, of course, animals also may be fearful when you try to attack them. But for them, that situation is all, in one sense, situational with regard circumstantial, and they would like to just run away from that place or try to defend themselves, whatever best possible. But they don't know that in that life, if they can, even whatever situation they are in, if they can think of Krishna, remember Krishna, he will lift you. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Antakale cha mameva. A devotee may also be put in a situation of difficulty or a situation of complete anxiety. But a devotee knows whatever situation is Krishna sanctioned. If I can always absorb my mind, consciousness in Krishna, that is good enough. It's like Prahlad Maharaj. He was put into so many difficulties every now and then by his own father. Right? He was attempted to be killed in many ways. Even then, Prahlada was least agitated, least disturbed. He was always absorbed in Krishna's thinking. So much so that when any situation of great calamity, his remembrance of Krishna was helping him, or rather it saved him to be a big sort of a saving grace. Right? And finally, even though we are put into difficulty and we may be destroyed, our body may be destroyed. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, body is subject to be destroyed. Antavanta ime deha. But the soul is eternal. Nityasya ukta shaririniha. Right? So the body is going to destroy today or tomorrow, but the soul is eternal. So we have to understand that as spiritual beings, we are not going to die. So absorb your mind in Krishna's thought. Krishna says, you will come to me. So this is the understanding which Prabhupada is trying to tell us here. Nothing to demean the animals or animals' kingdom. If you maintain our mentality like that, then what is the use of giving you a human form? Human form means advanced intelligence. Just like, very nice example is given. Say a flight you have, maybe chartered flight you have got in your possession. Chartered flight is supposed to take you from one destination to another destination every short span of time. Right? If you start thinking, no, chartered flight is there, let me use it to move around in the city, in the streets, or I will use it to go to mall, then it is misuse of the chartered flight. That's what is. Human form is meant to take you off from this material world to spiritual world. But if you misuse it for, again, trying to use it for gratifying your senses and trying to fulfill the necessities like any other animal does, then what is the use of giving you this very important, wonderful vehicle, wonderful instrument? You're misusing it. That's the point. Underutilizing it. So Prabhupada gives a very wonderful perspective now. Right now, situation is what? We have forgotten God. Very precarious situation we have. Unfortunately, at the present moment, in every state and every society, people are trying to forget God. Oh, talk about God means it's a taboo. No? It's sort of a, it's a sin. Like, you cannot mention that you are spiritual or you are religious. It's seen as though it is, not at all proper. You are not even a human being. That's what the modern society thinks like that. Right? So people are trying to society is trying to categorically avoid God or forget God. That's what is happening right now. Some people publicly say there is no God. Others say that if there is a God, he is dead, and so on. And there are so-called followers of some religion, many religions like this nowadays, who are using it as a tool or instrument to fulfill their own carnal needs, their demands. They want to, they have their own personal agenda. So this is what is happening right now, right? In the name of religion also, people are trying to exploit others. They have built such a so-called advanced civilization with so many skyscraper buildings. People think this is going to last forever for me. Building skyscrapers, advanced technology and up-to-date smart cities. This is what going to give me real satisfaction. But we have seen all this. In fact, the Western countries, Prabhupada says they are 100 years advanced than what we have right now. They have seen all those already. When Prabhupada went to America, New York, Empire State Building, Prabhupada saw 100 floors plus building it was. When it was built in early 19th century. Now in India, we are seeing some skyscrapers 100 years later. This is how it was. Already they were so advanced. But even then, Prabhupada said in America, so much you are advanced in your material life, civilization. But finally, the people, the young youth are all frustrated. They are confused. They become hippies. They don't know what to do in their life. They're looking for real happiness, real satisfaction. Because the spiritual need is not fulfilled. Right? So whatever you do, unless material need is one aspect, spiritual need is even more greater aspect. Right? Spiritual need is given, material needs, even though it may be very minimum, It hardly matters. That's how Vedic civilization was. Vedic civilization means that they are not into big buildings, big things, industries. No, their whole purpose was spiritual growth, spiritual development. They understood all these things are of no significance or no relevance. They are not spiritually significant, right? They're insignificant in one sense. What is relevant is our spiritual growth. They want to utilize their time in a more productive way with regard to spiritual growth. That's the point. But the modern civilization has become such a way that, oh, without this, your life is a waste. Without having a big building, big house, big car, modern amenities, oh, your life is a waste. That's how the whole modern civilization has been organized or being made to think like that for us in our day-to-day life. But is there is it going to really satisfy me as a spirit soul? Is the question we have to ask. Is going to really save me at the time of death? This question you should ask. So this is what Prabhupada is trying to impress upon us, that modern day civilization, they have built so-called advanced civilization, but is it going to really save us from death? Then fine, let us all build skyscrapers. But they are forgetting that all of their advancement is dependent on God, Krishna. Right? Whatever they are doing, not that they can do it independently. Krishna has to sanction. So Krishna has sanctioned. Use that and use it for your spiritual growth. That's what Prabhupada is telling here. This is a very precarious condition for the human society. What is the precarious condition? That people have forgotten God. They're not even recognizing God. They're using all resources of God. Whatever building you make, whatever advancement you make, where from the resources are coming? Krishna only has given that. That you're not acknowledging, that you're not recognizing. So this is a very precarious condition for human society. So Prabhupada gives a nice story, very interesting story. You would have heard this, but again, in this context, to hear from Prabhupada's, words from his mouth is very wonderful. The story called "Again Become a Rat." Punar Mushiko Bhava. There's a very nice story that describes what happens to a society that forgets the supreme personality of Godhead. Because Prabhupada is talking about how the modern society is totally forgetful or totally, not even recognizing God, and they're leading a life of, complete atheism, hedonism, right? And then they're thinking, oh, everything is fine. I can discover, I can, experiment. I can do that. I can do this. They're all in a great arrogant mood of thinking that everything is under my control. Pura duniya mera muthi mein. They think one big blow, something happens, and everything is going to crush. It's like every country thinks, oh, I'm very powerful. I can put tariffs on any country. I'll become very rich. I'll make my country great again. Like these people are all going on in their own way. But one big blow from Krishna, anytime everything will crumble. Right? So there's a story to describe what happens to a society that forgets the supreme personality of Godhead. Once a rat was being troubled by a cat. So the rat went to a saintly person who had mystic powers and said, my dear sir, I am very much troubled. So the saintly person asked, what is the difficulty? The rat said, the cat always chases me, so I have no peace of mind. So then what do you want? Saintly person asked, please make me a cat. I am troubled by this cat. Rat is asking, so please make me a cat. So this saintly person said, Tathastu, all right, you become a cat. You have the mystic power. So this rat became a cat now. Right? After a few days, the cat came to the saintly person and said, my dear sir, again I'm in trouble. Achha. So what happened? What's the trouble now? Dogs are chasing me. The cat said. Then what do you want? Saintly person asked. Make me a dog. Okay, tathastu, become a dog. Then After a few days, the dog came and said, "Sir, again I'm in trouble." Right? Now what happened? What's the trouble? Hmm? The foxes are changing. The fox is chasing me to make me a fox. Okay, you become a fox. Right? So make me a fox, this dog says, then fine, you become a fox. So from a rat, the living entity became a cat. From cat, he was elevated to a dog, dog to a fox. Now, next, after some time, this fox came and said, "Oh, these tigers are chasing me." And what do you want? I want to become a tiger. I think people are saying, "I am tiger," right? Please make me a tiger. Hmm? All right, become a tiger. Hmm? Right. Once it became a tiger, what did he do? Now the tiger began to stare at the saintly person. Right? "I shall eat you," the tiger said. Hmm? So the saintly person said, "Oh, you shall eat me. I have made you tiger, and you want to eat me." This is the sense of ingratitude all of us have. Lord's mercy, we get all necessities of life. We are provided with all the necessities for our living properly: air, water, food, right? And we don't want to recognize God. We want to finish God, kill God, right? So like this entity which has become tiger now is it's threatening the sage only. "I will kill you. I want to eat you." And sage is telling, "Oh, you want to kill me now? Eat me. I am the one who made you tiger." Ah. So this tiger said, "Yes, I am a tiger and I shall eat you now." Then the saintly person again told, and again, the saintly person cursed him again. Again became a rat. Punar mushiko bhava. Very instructive story. When you forget Krishna and don't recognize all the different uh, you know, benefits and privileges Krishna has given us in our life. Human form of life is a privilege Krishna has given us. You don't utilize it for Krishna's service. Forget Krishna, and Krishna will again degrade you. He'll make you a mouse or some other entity. This human life is meant to elevate yourself. Tamasima Jyotirgama means you have to come out of this material world, go to spiritual world. That is the purpose of this human form of life. You don't want to utilize it for that way, in that way. You want to, simply want to forget God and go on doing your own activities. And Krishna says, you're not fit to elevate yourself. You're doing activities which is very much other living entities are doing, other animals are doing. You please become an animal. So we are degrading ourselves. We are the reason. We are the cause. So this is the reason, this is the effect of forgetting God. People may ask, what happens if I forget God? Who cares? It's a big risk you're running. Yeah, you'll be again, going on a cycle of birth and death, repeated cycle of birth and death, taking different life forms. Prabhupada is going to explain now further. Saintly person again cursed him, become a man, become a rat. And the tiger became a rat. Punar Mushiko Bhava. He's the one who made rat into cat, cat into a tiger, say a dog, dog into a fox, fox into a tiger. Now, the saintly person again brought it back from a tiger to a rat. So what's the lesson we learned from this story? So human civilization is like this. Other day I was reading the World Almanac. It said that within the next 100 years, people will be living underground like rats. Right? Already people are doing it underground. Scientific advancement has created the atom bomb to kill men. So when it will be used, people will have to go underground and become like rats, from tiger to rat. That is going to happen. That is nature's law. See, Prabhupada is predicting already. Whatever you do in the material world will come back to you in a different way. So better be careful. So utilize the human form of life in a way that you can elevate, come out of this cycle of 84 lakh species of life you are going through, repeated birth and death. Elevate yourself to spiritual life, spiritual platform. That's what Krishna wants us to. If you don't use it for that purpose, for which it's given to you, you're misusing it and inventing all these atomic weapons and different so-called advancements, spiritual advancements. You think it is very important for you. Then again, Krishna says, Punarmushiko Baba. Again, you become a rat. Go on in this material world again and again. It's a very instructive story. Forgetfulness of God, we're running a great risk of repeated birth and death. Bhagavad Gita says, even little advancement in spiritual life will guarantee you next life with a human form, human birth. Right? And if you don't do this, then you'll again degrade yourself. Right? Human life is meant for spiritual progress, spiritual elevation. So with this, I conclude today. We'll continue with this discussion in the next session and conclude that. This topic will be fully understood. So we're discussing on the topic called absolute love. Right? Just Prabhupada is giving introduction of how right now we have forgotten Krishna, and because of forgetfulness of Krishna, we're doing so many things, attached to so many things, attached to our property, our building, our community, or different ways. And we think this is what life is. And we go on whole life completely unaware about the risk we are undertaking. What will happen to our life next? So we'll continue. Any questions, any doubts, any recommendations or other discussions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Gupta ji. Yes.
Prabhuji, Radha Krishna, Krishna Rukmani. So this relationship is often confused.
Okay.
So kindly throw some light on this.
Okay.
Maybe next time.
No, only I can throw, not a problem. We have time. So, Radha Krishna, Krishna Rukmini. See, this Krishna has a pleasure. Krishna's pleasure potency is manifested as Radharani. And Radharani, just like Krishna, further expands as Balaram and so many personalities, expansions, Narayana, different incarnations. Likewise, Radharani also expands as Lakshmi's, Durga, all these are expansions of Radharani only.
Oh.
Okay, then scriptures say this. There are three types of expansions of Radharani. One is the queens of Dwarka. Right? They are one type of expansions. They are all expansions of Radharani. They are all wives of Krishna and Dwarka. And there is one more expansion of Radharani known as Lakshmis in Vaikuntha. Okay. Then one more expansion is called Gopis of Vrindavan. Right? The Gopis, the Mahishis, and the Lakshmis. There are three types, three varieties. All of them have a very unique relation with Krishna. Okay? So Krishna again in his different forms. It's like in Vaikuntha, Vaikuntha is the whole spiritual world is called Vaikuntha. The topmost planet in the Vaikuntha is called Goloka. Okay. So in the Vaikuntha, wherein there are so many Vaikuntha lokas, spiritual worlds, every Vaikuntha loka there is a Narayana. Narayana is being served by Lakshmi very faithfully. And the relation between Lakshmi and Narayana is of one type. It is called Swakiya Rasa, like a husband-wife relationship. Okay. And even in Dwaraka also, Krishna enjoyed the company of his 16,108 queens in that same rasa, in the same relationship, melo it is called, of Swakiya. Swakiya means a properly wedded wife and husband. Properly in the sense that from the Vedic point of view. Whereas the relationship between the gopis and Krishna is called Parakiya Rasa. Parakiya means the woman is the wife of some other husband, whereas Krishna is trying to have relation with those women, gopis. This is called Parakiya Rasa. So there are two types of, variations in the conjugal relationship. So one is called Swakiya, other is called Parakiya. Again, these are all very elevated subject matters. Strictly speaking, all living entity or anybody as expansion of Krishna is Krishna's only. It's like we say gopis. Oh, gopis are wives of some other men, and Krishna is trying to call them in the dead of night through his flute sound, and then they're all running and coming. So it is from the social perspective, from the Vedic perspective, it looks like it is immoral, right? But from the spiritual perspective, if you see, Krishna is not calling anybody. They are his own expansions. They are his own energy only. They're playing the role of, say, somebody's wife or somebody's daughter, like that. But so, from the spiritual point of view, Krishna associating with gopis is having no problem. It is, it's your own expansion. It is your own energy. It is, right? From the material point of view, it looks as though it is so. So right now, this whole pastime of rasa, which Krishna has performed, is to tell us that we are all absorbed in our own relationships of love, family, society, and we become so absorbed as though our relationship in the society is more important than relationship with Krishna. There's a statement in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, he says that Pitaham asya jagata mata dhata pitamaha. I am the father, I am the mother, I am the lover, I am the guru, I am the protector, everything I am. Actually, different entities which we see around us as our own family members, as our wife, husband, children. Who are they actually in actual sense? Actual sense, they're all part and parcel of Krishna. True. They have assumed a body to play a role in a specific way, again, based on our individual karma and collective karma as a group. I was born in one family, and somebody else was born in some other family, and both of us have come together, husband and wife. Right? We didn't have any background, but we have come by the arrangement of Lord, divine arrangement, and we are living as husband and wife. But actually, spiritually speaking, spiritual point of view, me and my wife, which I call a man and woman, we are not man and woman from spiritual point of view. We are all spirit souls. We have taken a designation of a man, designation of a woman. Right? Actually, from the spiritual perspective, all of us are Krishna's energy. Energy in the spiritual language is called Prakriti. Right. Only one Purusha, Krishna. All of us are Prakriti. This Prakriti is assuming or identifying itself as a male, a female. These assumptions keeps changing every life. This life you may be a male, next life you may become a female from material point of view. But spiritually, you're all energy of Krishna. That's the point. So, this is the understanding that the gopis actually are energy of Krishna. They're all Krishna's servitors. So, Krishna, why 16,000 gopis? It said 16,000 gopis enjoyed Krishna rasa dance. 16 billion, 16 million also you can marry. You can have gopis. Likewise, in Dwaraka also, number is 16,100. They're all having the actual Vedic way of married life, husband, wife. So their relationship is it is as per the social norms, as per our understanding. Okay, so in that context, the type of exchange of relationship and the type of different feelings is different. Different feelings which they experience is little slightly different. There's a nice statement in one of the scriptures. It is mentioned how Lakshmi in Vaikuntha, she is aspiring to go to Goloka and associate with Krishna. So there is a forest, Vana, in Braj called Belvan. Belvan means that Bel patra, that leaf offered to Shiva, Bel patra. Right. Yeah. So that a lot of trees are there, Bilvavana, Bel trees are there. Yeah. So there, Lakshmi entered that forest and wanted to associate with, come to Braj inside Vrindavan and to have associate with Krishna. But she was stopped there in the Belvan. And Gopis told, your bhava is Aishwarya bhava. Aishwarya means with a lot of awe, reverence. She conducts herself. So that bhavana is not a bhavana which is not, very congenial with the mood of Vrindavan. Mood of Vrindavan is Madhurya bhava, very sweet. Mood is a different mood. Just like in Jagannath Puri also. Jagannatha is staying in Jagannath Puri temple in the mood of king, Dwaraka king. Once in a year, he goes on Rath Yatra. What is the meaning, significance of Rath Yatra? Because the gopis of Vrindavana have come to, take Krishna back to Vrindavan, because he has told when he left Vrindavan, I'll come back to Vrindavan very soon. He never came back. So the gopis are coming and pulling Krishna in a Ratha, come to Vrindavan. That is the mood. See, the mood, the feelings are different.
Right.
The feelings between a beloved and the lover and the loved.
Right.
That's called Parakiya Rasa, wherein those feelings are very intense. In fact, one of our acharyas, Rupa Goswami, gives a nice example. Very nice example. You should take it from the perspective of pure devotion. A man or a woman having an extramarital relationship, paramour, it's called, right? The husband and wife having extramarital relationships, the wife is doing all her household chores so diligently, as though she is, very nicely she's doing her work. Nobody will get any doubt. But heart of heart, she's always thinking of her paramour. Correct? So, like this, Acharya say, our devotion to Krishna should be like that. You do all your material duties so well, so nicely, that you're taking care of your family, society, business, industry, factory, everything. But your heart, only Krishna is there.
Sure.
That is the mood of gopis.
Right.
Okay. Whereas the gopis' devotion to Krishna is considered to be the highest.
Very right.
The level of devotion is that they have given up their own family, own everything, and just want to dedicate themselves to Krishna.
Right.
With regard to the Rukmini, Satyabhama, their level of devotion is considered to be one level down below the gopis. That's how it is. This is the way the scriptures describe to us. And that's why gopis' level of worship, level of devotion to Krishna, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, we have to simply follow in their footsteps. Ramya Kachis Vajavadu Upasana Vargena Vakal, which means their level of worship is so topmost, so highest, so sublime, that you cannot even consider, imagine the level of devotion. So their devotion to Krishna is so, in fact, Krishna has assured in Bhagavad Gita, you render service to me proportionate to your surrender, I will reciprocate. He's given a statement in Bhagavad Gita openly. As you surrender, I reciprocate. Right. But with gopis, he failed this statement. He told, your devotion to me is so much, I can't even return anything to you. You be satisfied with your own service. Krishna himself has failed in his statement of Bhagavad Gita that I'll reciprocate as for my devotee surrender. Because their surrender to Krishna is so topmost. Krishna has got purchased by their level of devotion. Right. This is the understanding. Okay, I just given you some hints. The more things Prabhupada speaks in his books nicely. Okay.
Prabhuji, where is it written? In which book of his is written all of this?
This is in Teachings of Lord Chaitanya.
Okay, got it.
It is just, some aspects are there, but if you read Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, full literatures, you'll get all complete understanding. Okay. Anyway, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya is good enough to begin with. It has a lot of such descriptions are there. Okay, so let's close here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.